GoToWhitney.com.
Hey Brian, how does it feel to have your artwork here at the Wentworth Gallery at Hard Rock?
This is great. This is my very first show, and to be in the company of like Paul Stanley and Rick Allen and Rick Ocasek and Peter Max, the legendary Peter Max, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty good feeling. Yeah, it's enhanced photography. So what happens is I go wherever I go. And what people don't probably realize is they think, oh, you take all these pictures while you're on tour with Tesla. I don't. I don't do anything when I'm on tour with Tesla but play the shows. So to relax from that kind of always, I go on trips around the world to see cool places and just relax. And what happened was about 10 years ago, a friend of mine was a famous rock photographer named Ross Halfin. He's actually one of my best friends, handed me one of his little Leica point and shoots and said, you know, go ahead, shoot whatever. And so I started showing him, he went, oh, those are pretty good. I went, oh, cool. And it just started from that. And then what happened was I started to show these pictures to Christian O'Mahony, right? And he said, I really like those pictures. They're really cool. Have you ever thought of painting on them? And I went, not really. I said, but you know, why not? I'll try it. And so we started this communication back and forth, and I started sending him images, and he started sending me the pictures on different formats, you know, whether it was on wood or paper or canvas is the one thing that I finally, you know, gravitated towards. And I just started, he said, just experiment, man. Literally, like, this was a year ago. Just start experimenting. I said, well, what do I paint with? He said, paint with whatever you want to paint with. I mean, he was so cool because it was just like, paint with whatever you want to paint. So there's paint markers, there's Sharpies, there's acrylics, there's watercolors, there's oils, there's charcoal, there's just, and I just started to put together these things and we started sending them, you know, he'd send me the giclées and I'd send him back, you know, what I know with this, with the paints and the textures and stuff. And then lo and behold, here we are, and we have my first show.
Talk to us about being on tour with Def Leppard and some fun behind-the-scenes stories that people might not know about.
Behind-the-scenes stories. Okay, so touring with Def Leppard they're like brothers to us. We started our very first tour, it was with David Lee Roth in '86, but then we went on the Hysteria tour for like 2.5 years. And Def Leppard kind of took us under their wings, and they're like mentors and big brothers, and we've toured on and off with them since then. And we just did like 3 summers with them, the last 3 summers. And so they're family. So that's part of the cool thing, is that how I got introduced to Wentworth Gallery was through Rick Allen, who's an artist here as well. So it's always...
What do you think about music nowadays, you know, how it's changed over the decades, and who do you think is some of the most talented artists right now?
Well, music is very cyclical, so it's always changing. You know, it changed from Bing Crosby to Frank Sinatra to Elvis Presley to the Beatles to Led Zeppelin to Def Leppard to Guns N' Roses. Well, I mean, it's always changing. And I like it all. As far as new contemporary artists, I like that Harry Styles kid. I think that song Sign of the Times is a masterpiece. I gravitate more towards pop and rock stuff. Not that I don't appreciate other genres, but that's what I like. And what else am I listening to right now? At the moment, I'm listening to this guy, Mark Martel, and he's probably most noted for he was the lead singer in this Queen Extravaganza thing that Brian May and Roger Taylor put together, and he's got a new album out, and I was listening to it today, so I'm really digging that. I still really like My Chemical Romance. I wish they'd get back together. That's it. I'm not plugging any other music.
Okay, yeah, okay. Come see Tesla.
Come see Tesla.
Who would you trade places with for a day? Any celebrity?
Paul McCartney. Yeah. On the 8th day, God created Paul McCartney. So that's I'm pretty passionate about Paul McCartney. Yeah, absolutely. As far as Tesla goes, we have a new album coming out in first quarter of next year, and there'll be a new tour all next year. I'll be out on the road either doing this or doing music. That's it. That's all I can tell my fans. You know, thanks for putting up with me for 34 years. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for being here in Atlantic City. All right, so we are here inside the Wentworth Gallery at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, right next to Brian Wheat. Now, he is one of the artists that is featured right now, and he's going to show us some of his photographs and paintings that he has here. Let's walk around and show everybody what you have. Brian, why don't you talk to us about this? I heard you describing it earlier, and it's very neat.
This one here is Waterroom Temple in Bangkok, right? And it's all these mosaic tiles. It's pretty impressive. This is a small village in Umbria that's the only way you can get to it.
Wow.
And I like that it's up on a hill like that. And someone was saying, "Oh, is that China?" They thought it was the Wall of China or something. It's like, no, it's in Umbria.
Where is Umbria?
Well, it's right below Tuscany.
Oh, wow.
So you have Lazio, which is where Rome is, and then you have Umbria, and then you have Tuscany.
Okay.
Right? And I have a house in Tuscany, so I go all these really cool little villages all over Umbria and Tuscany and take photos. And I'll show you, there's more photos.
Yeah, show me. Let's walk around.
From Tuscany.
Okay.
This is Texas. I was out on my motorcycle one day, and I just liked that sunset. And I think I actually took that with an iPhone.
So you took the picture, and then you painted over the picture.
Right. So the process that my art is it's called enhanced photography.
Okay.
So the thing is it has to be a picture I take. You can't send me a picture.
Right.
It doesn't qualify.
Okay.
So I have to be there and take the picture. And then we make a giclée, and we put it on canvas.
Okay.
And then I paint on the canvas, and then I add texture to it, you know, this
so
kind
cool.
of clear texture over the paint as well, which is kind of a clear gel, and that gets brushed on, and it gives it kind of a 3D embossed vibe.
Yes.
So that's what it is. It's enhanced photography, because they start out as pictures, and some of them look like pictures more, and some of them wind up looking like paintings more. It just depends. I mean,
but it looks like you love flowers. I mean, can you take?
Well, I do like flowers. I think they're very calming. So this was in Montreal at the Botanical Gardens, and I just saw those flowers. It was a nice, hot, sunny day, really hot. And
did you use the portrait mode? Is that why it looks a little blurry? Or
no, I did use the portrait mode. Yeah, very good idea.
Yeah.
Good eye, yeah.
Yeah, I try.
Right.
You know, I try something.
And this obviously is Rome.
Okay.
Right. And the only bummer about this is that they had to put this fence up after, you know, because people were stealing stones and stuff.
Wow.
But the light on that is really impressive, the way it was coming from there. Yeah. Okay. And this is in Paris, right by the Louvre.
Wow.
These are roses in my backyard in Tuscany, in the Tuscan house.
Beautiful.
This one's Kansas City on the Riverwalk. I saw that statue and just went, sculpture, whatever it was, and just went, that's really super cool. And then this part here reminded me of Abbey Road. Oh. You know, the Abbey Road album cover. You know how I went, oh, that looks like Abbey Road. So that's what caught my eye. That's Buckingham Palace. You know, the
is that a sunset or a sunrise?
That's a sunset. Yeah.
All right, let's head over.
Let's go over here.
Okay. Wow.
So over here, this is on the canal in Bruges, Belgium. And I had never been to Bruges. I had never been to a lot of these places. Some of them I've been to many times, but that was the one trip we took to Bruges, and it was in December, and it was just, we were on one of those little boat things.
Gondola?
Yeah, and I just saw that tree in that church and went, that's pretty cool. Of course, we know that's Big Ben. That's pretty iconic. Now this is something too that's a little different. So I play two kinds of bass guitars. I play a Hofner bass, like my hero Paul McCartney, and I play Gibson Thunderbird. So what we did is this image transfer process where I took these giclées from the canvas, right, smaller ones, and adhered them to the bass, and then actually put some paint on it as well, and painted the neck. And this is one of the Hofners. This is Berlin Wall, and it was those two doves, right? And there's about, I don't know, maybe a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile of the wall still there. So I did a lot of photographs, but what caught my eye on this one was the two doves, and kind of like, it's peace, man. Like, we need some peace, right, with everything that's going on. And that's kind of why I did that, because there are other, he's with me, he's all right. That's the owner of the gallery. Chill out, don't hit him. So it was, you know, everything's going on.
Yeah,
I mean, just peace, right? Okay. London Eye. That photo right there was really kind of weird, because I was on a boat, it was cold, the water was choppy, and I didn't have a tripod. Nor did I have one on this London Bridge one as well. It's the same day. And so it's really difficult to photograph at night. So they're a little bit not as sharp. So that's why they have more of a painting feel, right? Yeah. Because you went, well, okay, what can I do with this? Because as a photo in itself, it was a little fuzzy, right? This one here is one of my favorite ones, if not my favorite one. This is in a cemetery in Buenos Aires, in the cemetery. And
the only cemetery?
Well, the famous one where Eva Peron or whoever, right?
Yes.
Right. So I was going there looking for her monument, and I saw this and went, oh man, that's cool. And I took that picture, and it, you know, obviously I did the painting and then enhanced this.
So cool.
But if you saw the original painting, it's cool in itself. So it has to be cool in itself.
Originally, right.
Originally, and then it just, hopefully the trick is that it gets better.
Okay.
And if it doesn't make it on the wall.
Okay.
Hopefully, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, another Hofner, right? And this is a brown one. So we have a black one and a brown one. And as we go, we'll maybe do some Gibson Thunderbirds, which is the other bass that I've played my whole career. And, you know, obviously, you see this bass, it's Paul McCartney. Well, I'm the second guy. I'm number 2 on the Hofner.
Awesome.
So it's okay. On the 8th day, God created Paul.
Yes, well, we love Paul.
You wanted to talk about the sunflowers.
Yes,
though, right?
I did. I wanted to.
Right, because someone asked me, well, why did you shoot the dead sunflowers?
Right.
Because most people shoot the live ones that are nice and pretty and yellow, and this was like the other end of it. So, and I happened to be there at that time of year when they were all like that. And I went, oh, that's really cool. And you got to remember, when I started out with this, it was just to take photographs, right? So I was like, oh, that's a cool photograph. And then it turned into a cool painting. But let's go over here real quick, because here's another one. And you can see it's the same shot, but it's much different. The clouds are different, the sky is bluer, you know, you've got these red, you know. So they're all one of ones. They really are. They're not just like, you know, the same exact thing. And this one, I shot this rainbow, and I couldn't get it right in the photo, so I really kind of over-exaggerated it. And almost like a kid.
Yeah, but it looks cool.
You know, because I'm a big kid. So.
Well, Brian, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We're excited that your art is here in Atlantic City at the Wentworth Gallery, and we have to have everybody come check you out, buy some of your pieces.
Come on down. Come down tonight. Come see us. Come see the art. Come to the show. Come say hi.
Yeah. Brian, thank you. Come say hi to Whitney, too.
Come say hi
I
to
might
Whitney.
be, I might be around. You never know.